Dr. Holly here, and we are on tip number 8 of how to stop the quarantine 15. And this is one of my favorite tips. It involves the power of your social environment, the people you hang out with. And I call this tip, Find Your Peeps. And no, it's not that Easter candy that all of you may have in your house. And if you do, get rid of it. We don't need that around right now. It's not about finding those type of peeps, but it is about finding your peeps, the peeps that are going to help you hit your goal, the peeps that are going to help you stop the quarantine 15. So what is this tip about? Well, it's about the power of your social environment. And what that means is the people you hang out with, they're your social environment. We talk about the physical environment, and that's all the physical things around you that influence your behaviors. Your social environment is about the people you hang out with that influence your behaviors. We know that we tend to take on the behaviors of the people we rub elbows with, the people we talk to, the people we hang out with, and we do it without it even realizing it. It's stealth. We take on those behaviors and we don't even think about it. It just happens. So this is a really important tip. It's important to realize so we can use it to our advantage. There's a lot of good science about this. This isn't just something that we've made up. This is something that we've actually studied. For instance, we know that people with similar body weights, and even when we look at weight for height, something called body mass index, tend to be friends with people of similar body weights and heights, our body mass index. We tend to cluster together. Now, I know some of you are saying, no, Holly, I have some friends that are a very different body weight than me or a very different body mass index than I am. It's not 100%, but if you graph it out and you look, people do tend to cluster, meaning be friends with, hang out with people of similar body size, body weight. Now, you may say, wow, okay, is obesity or body weight contagious? And I hope not, because we have about a third of our population that's obese and about a third of our population that's overweight. So I hope it's not contagious. It's not contagious. Obesity itself or body weight is not contagious. But what is contagious are the behaviors that influence your body weight. What you eat, how much you move, your mindset, right? Do you believe, are you empowered to make changes? All those kinds of things do influence our body weight. And when you hang out with people that are doing those behaviors, you tend to take on the behaviors they're doing. So if they're negative behaviors, if they're behaviors that tend to push toward weight gain, you tend to take on the behaviors that push toward weight gain. You tend to fall into that category. You do more of that. If they're doing behaviors that tend to push you toward a leaner body weight, then you tend to have a leaner body weight because you're engaging in more of those behaviors. This phenomena that we see is really something that we think is why Colorado is the leanest state, is we tend to take on the behaviors. We have a lot of people who are very physically active in Colorado. We have great weather. We have great physical environment and social. People come here for that. So even if you don't come here or don't live here because you want to be physically active, there are more people who do want to do that. You rub elbows with them. You hang out with them. You think it's the normal thing to do, therefore you start doing it. It may be more normal to go to bed early on a Friday night so you can get up and do a race or hike a mountain on Saturday morning. And if more of your friends are doing it, you're more likely to think that's the normal behavior and you're more likely to do it. If, on the other hand, your group of friends never does that and they tend to go to happy hour every Friday night, you're more likely to go to happy hour every Friday night. And you don't even realize it. You know, we've talked a lot, or you've probably heard a lot about herd immunity from COVID. We need to get that herd immunity. We need to get the majority of the population immune to the virus so that it can protect the others. This is almost like herd psychology. We tend to take the behaviors of the people that are around us. Probably as a survival mechanism, meaning here, this is what people are eating and doing and they're surviving and this is okay to do, so therefore I'm going to go do it. Versus if I go over and do something different, that might be danger. That may be how it started. But now it just is something that's part of how we engage in life. So it's stealth, like I said, but if you recognize that it happens, if you recognize that it works that way, you can use it to your advantage. And that's really what this tip is about finding your peeps. If you're struggling with a behavior, any behavior, find people who are doing that behavior, find people that are doing that behavior well, and hang out with them. Make them in your social circle. Your social circle isn't limited. You have the power to reach out and increase your social circle. You have the power to reach out and increase your peeps, increase the people you're hanging out with. Choose very strategically to find some people that are doing the behaviors you want to do. It's going to make it easier. For example, one of the behaviors that I know I do so much better, I feel so much better, is when I get up early and I do my morning ritual. Hard for me. I'm a night person. I don't really like getting up earlier. But when I hang out with people who do it, I'm more likely to do it. It becomes the normal behavior. So I have a friend that we text each other at 5 a.m. or when the sun rises. And I know she's doing it. It just makes it easier for me to do. So I've increased my social circle on a behavior that I know is important, a behavior I want to do, that I find difficult, but I'm going to make it easier because I'm going to put some peeps in there. I'm going to put some people in there that are going to help me because they're doing it. If you're wanting to eat healthier, find people who are eating healthier. If you want to move more, find people who are moving more. If you want to change your mindset, find the people who have the mindset you're trying to create and rub elbows with them. All right. How do you do that? So this is going to be your challenge. This is going to be your homework. This is going to be the putting it into practice. Is I want to challenge everyone this week to think about a behavior they're struggling with, a behavior you want to do, a behavior that has big impact, a behavior that's going to stop the quarantine 15 for you, and decide that you're either going to find some people that are doing it and you're going to add them to your social circle, or you're going to identify the people who are already in your social circle and spend more time with them. That's another way you can do this. Now, I know what you're saying. Holly, we're sheltering in place and there's only one other person in my house and they're not doing any of the behaviors I want to do. So what do? Well, here's the cool thing. Virtual is okay. It doesn't have to be literal rubbing elbows like I'm standing next to you. Virtually rubbing elbows. We're learning that in this pandemic, which is so cool, that virtual connection works. So you're always able to increase your social circle. You're always able to change your social circle. If you understand how this social network impacts your behavior, you can make some choices to use it to your advantage. That's what this homework is all about. I would love to hear what you do. Either go out and find new peeps that are doing what you're wanting to do and put them in your social circle, spend more time with them, find groups, or think about people who are you already talk to and spend more time with them. Learn what they're learning, learn from them, put them in the center of your circle, spend more time with them. So love to hear what you do. This is a great tip for anything you want to accomplish, any behavior. When you want to learn, and when you're trying to run more, whatever you're trying to do, it's a great tip for it. Specifically though, let's do it to stop the quarantine 15. All right, guys, go out there, find your peeps and let me know. I love y'all. Bye.